Gone.
Yeah, it's still relegated to the people who are buying lottery tickets but think they're smarter than the people who buy lottery tickets, and yet are provably not.
What?
Hello, chat.
Hey, chat.
Hello.
Ad just showing me a PlayStation 5 ad. Yeah, sure, I can afford a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, sure. Those exist somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, and it's also showing me a VR ad. That's funny. It knows. It knows. The thing is, I don't want to play any of the VR games that have come out. Like, I haven't seen one where I look at it and go,
No? Have you not played Beat Saber yet?
okay.
Beat Saber is a really good exercise game, actually.
All right, okay. Granted, what I mean is like any of the you're somebody swinging fists around, or you're in a scary survival bullshit scenario. All those, I don't want to play any of those.
That's
all
fair.
the
Yes. I forget what
headlining
it's
stuff.
called, but I've seen one game that's basically earthbending that was really good.
Hello, Ray.
Hey, Ray.
Hello.
General Wright's just overhead lifting this woman.
Look, they still haven't used furry bait. We need a furry bait VR game. Other than
That's
VR chat, I
Moss.
mean.
Moss is the furry bait VR game.
Yes.
True.
I watched somebody play Moss. Well, wait, I think I watched Rick play Moss.
Yes, we played it on
yeah,
stream.
that was great. Back
Yeah.
when he first got VR.
I don't know. I mean, I
I
think
still need to
if
play
there-
Moss too.
I think if I ever end up playing a VR game, it's gonna have to be something with a really probably like retro puzzle aesthetic or something.
Thank
You
you,
know,
Silver Spotlight. Rumble VR is the earthbending game.
Mm-hmm.
I might give it a look.
I would love if they had a mode in that would actually teach you, like, what is it, horse style Tai Chi?
Sorry,
Whatever
what?
The actual martial art that earthbending is based on.
Oh, okay.
I like that I can summon 4 of the boomerang moblins now.
I was gonna say, are you enjoying your army? It's slowly turning into an RTS.
RTS. What's
Real-time
RTS?
strategy.
Oh, right.
Everything's Urkel.
Everything is Urple.
Oh, they said everything's Urkel. I'm like, is it Urkel o'clock?
Always.
I guess I'm.
No, that's only Saturday mornings.
Only on Saturday mornings. Watch New Adventures of the Croo. 7:30 a.m.
Yeah, I'll definitely be up for that. Well, I did enjoy watching like Saturday morning cartoons with y'all, but the thing is, like, it doesn't have to be Saturday morning anymore. We could, just
It's
do it
true.
I'm
whenever.
trying to teach you good sleep hygiene to wake up early even on the weekend.
It's Saturday morning somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
It's morning somewhere. I don't know if it's Saturday morning somewhere.
It
See,
is if you want it to be.
I think the only thing that's discouraged me is that video is so jank in VR chat.
It is a little finicky.
I mean,
Global volume. Down a bit.
It's one of the things that have made me a little jaded about developing in VR is just it's so hard to test shit because you can't. Nothing is like in set positions and in discrete values. Everything is analog.
all right.
Because you can't be like, when they grab the thing, it's like, oh, but what if they grab it from 1 centimeter away, or 10 centimeters away, or 3 centimeters away, or what if they grab it when their hand is upside down, or what if they grab it when it's behind their back, or it's like,
Interesting.
The human body is so much harder to test than just when press W, go forward.
I'm sure after, if the tech's around for a few more decades, standards will emerge of some sort.
I don't know, man. I've seen some very smart people who've been working in VR for a long time now, and they're just like, nah, this shit's a fad. It's gonna fall away after a few years.
That's entirely possible. I mean, I don't know.
It's true.
One of the ones I think of mostly is, John Carmack was working for Oculus and Meta for like 6 years, and then he left because he's just like, nah. This ain't
It's just
it.
like, nah.
This is not the next stage of video games.
I don't know. I mean,
not even doing anything.
I don't see it as an extension of video games.
Yeah, me neither.
That's not the goal of it to me.
Their problem is they aren't furries on VR chat. That's where the real staying power is.
There are many furries on VR chat, Frederick. They're on VR chat. Now, they're in not VR chat VR games. There's less of those. I mean, there is a Batman VR game that came out recently. Is Batman a furry?
Well, he
yes.
does dress as an animal. Debatably. With a lot of Kevlar.
Yeah,
and,
but it doesn't have the face. So the question is Batman a cat girl?
Oh my God.
Hmm.
Is Batman wearing
If Batman is not furry, then Blackset is not furry.
Is Batman wearing a
Blackset's not
Kigu?
furry.
So
He's a
Batman
cowboy, if
has an
anything.
animal face. That's what you're saying here.
No, Blackset has the non-animal faces. That's the part that's fucked up about it, is anytime they draw
What?
women.
Yeah,
For
but that's
women.
just the women.
For women.
And also Black Sad himself.
Is Batman technically a sandwich?
Batman's a hot dog,
Oh.
which I
No,
think
clearly
we
he's a
determined are tacos.
calzone.
My God.
Is the ocean a sandwich?
The ocean is a
soup of plastic.
I think if you add in the condiments, then it's technically a sandwich.
No, then it's just a soup with
I'm
like
sure she's fine.
crackers floating in it.
I mean, it's really more of a
Look,
jambalaya.
Can you prove that Batman doesn't have a fursuit among his costumes in the armory?
Now, see, that's
Yep.
the question we should be asking.
Can't prove the non-existence.
Chet says Batman is 100% a furry. He wears a modified pup hood.
That's not.
That's true.
I mean, that suit is made out of like latex, right? And he's
Latex Kevlar. Yeah,
yeah.
it's very fancy. Very, very fancy.
I wish I was fancy.
Jonas, you are a fancy trash panda.
Oh, you're just saying that.
I mean,
You're
yes,
a
but
fancy
also it's
trash
true.
panda in a fancy shirt. Why are you in a fancy shirt?
Why aren't you in a fancy shirt?
Yeah,
Chat
actually,
says
Hey,
that Batman
fancy
had a
shirt.
villain called the Condiment King. That sure is a concept.
There's a Batman.
Oh.
Hello,
Speaking of bats,
Hello. Why are we
that's Joker.
about Condiment King?
We're asking
Why
if
would we
Batman's
not
a
be
furry.
talking about?
You
Yeah,
know,
Batman a furry.
that's. Oh, I see. Okay.
I also asked if Batman is technically a sandwich.
Why would he be a sandwich, Jonas?
Look, he's meat squished between an outfit, which is like a bun, right? I mean,
So does that make every clothed person a sandwich?
possibly.
Probably.
Speaking of clothes,
Yes.
I believe they're suggesting to you something, Jonas.
Yes,
Not
Ray.
just Jonas.
uh huh,
What do you
Yeah.
want, Ray?
uh huh.
haven't harassed me enough today already.
He hasn't.
No, he has not. Neither have I.
Okay,
Chat,
let me tell you, folks. It was incredibly difficult. I mean, it was so much arm twisting to get
Chat.
Jonas out of his shirt.
Chat, you don't know what I've been through today. You don't know the kind of just shenanigans that Ray has just like
Okay.
the torment. I almost put the command in the wrong. I almost put the command in the wrong Discord.
Thank you, GC, who was in chat. Put Ray in the penalty box. Deserved.
It's true.
All right, fine. I'll do it too. Y'all don't have to beg me anymore.
No, but like
Where
Ray
did
was
you come
just
from?
Where did you go?
Where'd you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Ding, 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 ding.
no, but like Ray rang a bell, and then other people started ringing the bell too, and then Ray grabbed me. He gave me the bad touch.
Cat says Jonas needs an option to put on more clothing. Jonas fully decked out in layers of winter outfit.
Oh yeah, no, I'm working on one for winter where I'm pissed off and drippy nosed and
Oh,
tired.
humbuggy.
Yeah, wearing my hoodie, which I'm wearing right now. Yeah, Ray. The bell was enough. Ray started breaking out the maracas, and then terrible things happened. How you doing, Chad? They were bullying me. They were all bullying me.
It's true.
I'm being bullied.
I mean, have you ever considered the possibility that you deserve it?
No,
Well,
I'm-
glad we straightened that out.
I'm a sweet innocent little bean.
Are you though?
Yes,
Uh,
you know I am. Everyone knows I am. Everyone knows that I'm pure. Well, I was pure until I met this crowd.
Yeah.
Yep,
Mm.
I'm going with that.
Mhm.
Mm,
Is that
Yeah.
what we're going with?
mm-hmm. Like you can't disprove. it.
Warbird subscribed for 19 months. Thank you. Who says, hope everyone had a nice 3-day weekend. Wait, what's the 3-day weekend?
No.
Yeah, it's Veterans Day.
Oh.
Or no.
That's a
More
bank
like
holiday.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually kind of created a bit of the whole bank thing. Actually, kind of put a wrench in my plans. Because I
Kyron
needed
Lade in
to-
chat says, hey Rick, I wanted to swing by and say I've been reading your White Flower 2 trilogy and loving it so far. Hope you're having a wonderful day.
Oh, thank you.
Mouse.
Mouse face.
I'm trapped in this box.
Yes, but you're trapped in a box. You are so far away from those thighs.
I like how you had a brief, Wile E. Coyote moment there, Rick. The
Trying
beds
to run
needed
on the
to
beds as
realize
they're
that there
falling.
was no ground beneath them.
Looney Tunes time. It's an important fact for any game.
That reminds me of
Get
a
back.
magic card.
Rick,
Does
you
it?
can't always answer all of life's problems with more beds.
Yes, you can. Chat, reset it to 0.
Yes, they made a in the Wild West set. They made a Roadrunner and a Coyote that are two parts of a single piece of art. Whereas the Coyote chasing after the Roadrunner.
Nice.
Nice. Two parts of some sort of ancient yin yang balance. That's how it works. If the Roadrunner, if the Coyote ever caught the Roadrunner, the world would end. It would be like the Kali Yuga or something. That's how that
He
works.
did one time.
Did you just bring up the Kali Yuga?
Yeah, deep cut.
I mean, aren't we living through the Kali Yuga?
Don't tell anybody.
I mean, it's not exactly
Don't
a
tell
secret.
me.
It's a difficult way.
It's not exactly a secret. I'm pretty sure that's like a core tenet of Hinduism that the Kali Yuga is happening right now.
Well, fine. Great. Just spoiled the ending for everybody. Stoker, thanks.
Good
It's
job,
Hindu.
Stoker.
It's Hinduism.
Hindu.
There
There is no
isn't an
ending.
ending. Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to
It's
say.
cyclical. It just
The
goes
end
on
is-
forever.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end,
That
is
turtle
never
forever.
the
Or
end.
whatever. it is.
I was content to see how long that was going to go on.
It just flies right
Face.
back.
Face and everything. Yeah.
Oh, you're not. Oh, I see. You've leashed yourself to it, but you're not controlling it. Hmm.
Hurry. Can I just teleport? Yeah, apparently.
Hmm.
Guy glitches the coyote catches the rotor, and it's like Vishnu put his other foot down. It's like if Vishnu's other shoe finally dropped.
Oh, damn it. Oh, there you go, Ray.
Simon says, "Isn't Nirvana supposed to be the end?" No, Nirvana was the '90s.
Oh, look at that. Ray is
Oh,
as
mouse.
close to Mouse West as he can be.
Tasty little mouse west.
Mouse to mouse resuscitation.
Mouse to mouse.
Little bite-sized mouse west.
Mm-hmm.
Could
Mhm.
Still there.
Something dreamy center.
Oh. Oh.
I mean,
Maybe not that
in
one.
certain situations, I'm sure.
Good try, Ashley.
Hey, I got more points. I can try
I
again.
got my teeth sunk in him.
Is that what you've got sunk in him?
Long as it's not me. Long as I'm not the one being.
What is going on? Chat. I need you all to buff Ray and Ashley, like, with every spare hand you have. I need you
I have to
buff
make
them.
that time in the box justified.
I
certainly
just
didn't
can't
deserve
take
it
you
for-
people anywhere.
You certainly didn't deserve it.
And then
for
chat
your
reserves to bop me. I'm not the one being horny on main.
Did anybody actually say
Tonight.
that being horny on main is a bad thing for this stream?
Here, let's try that again.
I mean, Rick's entire career is about being horny on main, isn't it?
You know, whenever someone says horny on Main, I always picture someone being like on Main Street, like, soliciting. Like.
I appreciate the thing I've seen with a lot of Blue Sky people who are coming over. They're just like, I'm not fucking separating my work anymore. Maintaining
Well, they don't
two
have private
Twitters.
accounts, so it's like
Yeah, with Blue
I
Sky
have two
doesn't
Twitters,
contact-
or two Blue Skies.
Two guys. Two guys.
Because one of them is probably Penny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even though I know that with the advanced content filtering, yada yada, I still feel more comfortable having a separate AD. It's just me.
No,
It
that's
may-
understandable.
Yeah. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but it's like, I don't know. It just feels weird being, on the rare occasions where I'm like, yeah.
I don't know. I just assume that if I'm gonna go working at a place that has an HR that's going to look at my social media, they're gonna know enough to be able to dox and find any alternative account. So I'm like, why even fucking bother?
God.
And if I work at a company where they have to they require me to sanitize their social media accounts, then I don't need to be working there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Trick the normies into believing you're poor. You're pure poor. Freudian slip.
I don't
Trick
have
them
to
into
trick-
believing you're poor. Put on your best rags and go
I
begging.
don't want to go down there yet.
I don't have to trick anyone into believing I'm poor.
Hey!
So now that I'm thinking about it, if they require you to sanitize your social media accounts, that might be a First Amendment violation.
It is.
Well-
they're not allowed to tell you how you live your life outside of work.
Well, I mean, these days the First Amendment is probably a suggestion, but
Unfortunately.
not gonna think about it, not gonna think about it, not gonna think about it.
Says the guy who brought it up.
Not gonna think about it.
How's everybody doing?
oh, hello again, mouse.
Oh.
There you
Yeah,
go.
man.
How am I always been in the second position? Literally every time we shuffle the couch, it's randomized who's on the end, but then I'm always second.
Well, you don't like it down there?
Climbing
assume
back and
you're
forth
cheating.
over
No, I
Miller.
don't hate it. I'm not upset about it. It's just weird.
You're the one who wrote it.
I was gonna
know.
say.
Look, man,
anyone
random is weird.
Of the billions of people on this planet would know.
Look, there's at least two people who have access to that Git. They can both look at it.
Uh-huh.
God knows I don't want to. It's all ugly to me now.
Oh, is
Disgusting.
this like an artist thing where like you can't look at your old code because it grosses you out?
Yes,
Yes.
That's
That is
fun.
definitely a thing that happens.
100%.
That's hilarious.
God, what was this idiot think? Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Now you're first in the position.
Why didn't that dipshit leave any comments?
Okay.
Oh, right.
Hey, now I leave comments.
Okay, that's interesting.
Even on projects I'm working on by myself, I still explain my own code.
But do
Nice.
you leave documentation?
I don't know how to generate docs. There's code in the there's comments in the code, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
Look, I don't know JDocs. That's the only one I can think of.
Does it have to be in a particular format, or?
There's usually a thing for it that if you write your comments a certain way, it can automatically generate documentation.
Oh.
Which is what I see most often for, like, if I download a library that does have documentation, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But that also means that the comments can be technically there and completely undescriptive and unhelpful.
Hmm.
So it's like, we have documentation, and it doesn't fucking say anything.
Well, you know what they say.
Say, Levy?
They do say that.
No, Stoker, he doesn't know what they say because there's no documentation.
What are they saying? I don't understand. All I hear is ram, 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 and squeak, 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 squeak.
Rude. Why are you calling out like me and Tyra at the same time?
I'm calling you and Stoker.
I was gonna say.
I was gonna say I'm the one who squeaks in this circumstance.
It's
that's true.
Stoker. He's the one who squeaks.
It's
Yes.
Twoo. Ooh woo.
Woo.
No, Rick,
It's
you don't
Twoo woo
understand.
woo.
I am the one who squeaks.
The bat goes ooh woo woo.
Is that what the
That
bat
is
do?
still the best solution for this problem.
What, back at Uwu?
Bat go. Ooh,
That is
ooh,
the solution to a lot of problems, let's be fair.
ooh, woo.
What? No, just go into bed.
I mean,
I mean,
And that if that doesn't work, try more bet. You best hope.
Some days you
It
wake up
pointed
and the
at you.
universe gives you a message. And it's telling you to go the fuck back to bed. Try again tomorrow.
I'm hitting the
Yeah.
ceiling there.
you ever just give up?
Some days are fucked and cannot be unfucked.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh, there's Uranus.
Huh?
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
I don't
No, I
believe
just-
that's how it's pronounced.
I found Uranus.
Good job.
You're rectum.
Here, let me find it for you on the smelloscope.
You know how it works. Jupiter has an eye, Pluto has a heart, and Uranus has gas. Oh, and
I
Mars.
can't take you people anywhere.
Oh, and Mars has a face, but we don't care about
Are we going somewhere? Where are you taking us?
Yeah, Mars
Tucker?
has a sphinx. Sphinx face.
We're going on a road
To
trip?
answer the question of where we're going, it's to hell, and we're going in this handbasket.
Okay.
Hmm.
As long as we have a destination in mind.
Where are we going? There is no way of knowing.
And we show no signs of slowing. The danger is surely growing.
Apparently not allowed to jump up there.
Don't get us copyright struck.
Yeah, because I sound entirely too much like Gene Wilder.
You do. Exactly like him.
Your transformation's almost complete.
Soon I shall be invincible. Soon I shall have all of the Oompa Loompas under my control.
Hmm.
And then no one can stop me, not even Superman.
That right?
Yes, that's right. Everybody knows that Superman's main weaknesses are kryptonite, red solar energy, magic, and Oompa Loompas.
Is red solar energy supposed to be a weakness, or does that just make him like normal?
Is there a difference?
I mean, yes, because kryptonite would just straight up kill him.
Well, yeah, but if he's exposed to red solar energy and you shoot him with a bullet, that'll also kill him.
I guess.
Also,
Like,
I was under the
again,
impression
at that
he's
point,
I was under the impression he's not specifically weak to magic. He just doesn't have any particular like resistance to it.
I mean, again,
I wonder
at
if
that
it's possible to do a run using entirely and only beds, and if someone will try that.
Yes.
sure someone's
I'm
already
sure
done
there's
it.
runs out there that's, they pick one item and they're like, I'm gonna beat the game with only this one.
gonna
I don't
beat
know why
the
they sound
game
like Jamie
with
Heineman.
I is that who that was supposed to be? Um,
Kind of. Probably not well.
Probably.
Now I'm googling different kinds of kryptonite. Thanks.
you're
Don't
welcome.
look up the pink one.
Yeah, don't look at the pink one.
Specifically,
What are the
look
other
at
ones?
pink
There's
one.
like gold kryptonite that like makes him stronger.
I always thought the pink one was one of Batman's villains.
Is this even real? Are they serious?
Unfortunately,
Yes,
Jonas,
all
you
of
have
this
to
is
remember what
completely real.
age a lot of things were concocted in.
Alright.
Yeah, they were concocted in the age of the dinosaur.
it's true.
Wait, what?
They were concocted in the age of Armless Tiger Man and Snowflame, the super villain
What?
hero powered by crack.
Oh,
No, Snowflame.
okay.
Snowflame is later than Superman's various kryptonites, but yes, Snowflame is the supervillain who gets his powers from snorting cocaine.
Wow. Was this the 80s?
How did you guess?
Did
It's just a self-biography of the comic writer at the time.
God.
Like Snowflame. You know what? Let me pull up some quotes from Snowflame
Oh boy.
because he has some memorable dialogue.
But making it 80s is even funnier to me because it's like, okay, if it was like the early 1900s and like this is like a 1937 Superman thing, it's like, okay, they're talking about like toothache cocaine. Like, that shit's crazy, but it's like, it's not the refined shit of the late 90s or, late 1900s. No, this is the hard drugs cocaine.
Here we go. This is one of the ones I was looking for. I am Snowflame. Every cell of my being burns with white-hot ecstasy. Cocaine is my god, and I am the human instrument of its will.
Wow. I don't even know what to think.
Trying to remember, when was the Hays Code lifted?
It doesn't matter. That's for movies.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, you mean the
No,
comics?
Liz Comics Code. Yeah, Liz Comics Code. That's the one I'm thinking of.
I think that was
Comics Code started weakening around the early to mid 70s. It still existed all the way up until the 90s, but didn't have any authority anymore, and it was dead completely sometime in the 2000s.
Yeah. A big reason it started was the publication of Frederick Wertham's book "Seduction of the Innocent," which
Yes.
is all about like it was in the mid '50s. It was like comic books are the source of communism.
Yeah. It's like, if you take your glasses off and turn this panel upside down, you can see Wonder Woman's tits.
That's how that works. Yeah.
If you take the Land O'Lakes butter lady and cut at her knees, you can make her reveal her top.
It's funny because Bill Mumy, who was originally Will Robinson, Lost in Space, for a while, I think in his 20s or 30s, he was part of a band called Seduction of the Innocent. Because it was an inside joke. It also
Yeah.
just sounds like it also does sound like a cool band name. But,
Yeah, it's God. And a lot of this too, people tend to forget that the comics they were primarily going after, although the superhero comics were a target too. But at the time of Seduction of the Innocent, superhero comics were not actually the most popular comics on the shelves. The most popular comics were horror comics and like gangster crime story comics, and those were their primary targets because they were like, these just go too far.
yeah, they've got guys punching other guys, and like one guy got poked in the eye, and one guy got like, the cement
Are we
shoes.
still talking about comic books, or is this the Three Stooges now?
Is there a difference?
Oh Lord!
I mean, they living comic characters.
But yeah, no, it's very strange to think about what was offensive to yesteryear.
Well, I mean, to be fair, have you read any of the old Tales from the Crypt comics?
A little bit, yeah. I browsed them back then. Yeah, they were a little over the top, but they were over the top in that sort of kooky 50s way. Like,
Yeah, of course. Like, one of the ones they cited as being particularly egregious was one about a baseball team getting revenge on someone who, like, took a bribe to throw their game and screw up their win. They got revenge by killing him and taking him apart and playing a baseball game with like all of his organs and body parts being scattered around as like his intestines are the diamond and like this part's home base, etc., etc. It was so over the top.
It's weird because it's gruesome, but at the same time it's like, really?
It's silly.
It's extremely silly. And unfortunately, they never did answer the question of who was on first.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Stoker.
And Costello are still arguing to this day.
And some say they're arguing about this to this very day.
Yes, Miller just said that.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Stoker said it in a funny voice.
Yeah, that makes mine better.
That's fair, I suppose.
No, you see, Stoker said it louder, so we give him all the applause.
Yeah, it's like that situation with the with Oreos being a total ripoff of an older cookie that no one remembers.
Hydrox?
That's it.
That sounds like a
That sounds
medication.
right. Yeah, because I remember I was like, yeah, but also the name of the other cookie was fucking awful. That sounds like a pool cleaning supply.
It's true.
I mean, given the era, I believe it's spelled the way Glitch spelled it in the chat, Hydrox. I believe that's the correct spelling.
Yeah,
It is, yeah.
It's the correct spelling unless it's wrong.
Oh, I
In which
remember
case it's still the
these.
correct
They had
spelling.
like that, almost kind of a texture to them.
Yeah. Good times.
Almost a texture to them.
That should be their slogan.
It was almost food.
What was
People
that
might
one?
Be a bit upset about that one.
What was that one fucking like season 1 Family Guy joke about the knockoff Frosted Flakes, and they had the fake Tony the Tiger going, "They're food."
There you go.
God, what was the Game Grumps bit with the tagline for Wendy's?
Oh, suck it down and poop like a regular man.
Wow. Nice.
And Aaron was like, that should be their slogan. And Danny was just like, that's gonna be a hard sell.
Well, apparently Hydrox is still around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Not since The war.
Yeah, this is the war.
The summer daycare I used to went to had those, and I just figured it was because they were cheap about everything.
Little did you know, they were giving you a little slice of true authenticity.
Remember when?
They're trying to be real with it.
Remember when?
No.
All
Nope.
right, fine.
Remember when the
I've
strength of
never
men
remembered a
failed?
thing.
Yeah. No, remember when they would serve the flavored sugar liquid that was supposed to be chemically chemically engineered grape substitute or whatever, and it was just usually it was the gallon jugs. Did you ever drink that stuff?
No, Jonas.
What is Jonas
that
talking
never
about?
happened
Alright,
to
yeah,
us.
Mandela effect.
Jonas.
Oh no!
No, I totally know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Good times.
It was
Jonas
It
is
was-
remembering weird things again.
Yeah. Time for
all right, Grandpa Jonas.
Yeah, time for bed. It's okay,
Let's
Grandpa.
get to your pills.
Look, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, Jonas. No, it happened. I'm telling you it happened. Don't look at me. Yeah. Apparently, that's how I sound.
Don't you remember 8-track tapes?
Yeah.
I love the 8-track tapes. They were
I don't wanna
so
play bingo.
portable.
I don't want to play bingo. Nobody likes bingo.
It's true. Nobody likes bingo.
Nobody's ever played a bingo. At least they haven't done it fairly.
No, you know what it's gonna
That
be
damn this Schmizzlewitz has cheated me out for 6 weeks in a row.
when it's my generation. They're gonna have Wordle tournaments or something. That's what they're gonna have to fucking home. It'll be like
No, it's gonna be like competitive Minesweeper or something.
yeah, or so yeah, exactly.
Flappy Bird.
Basically,
All
that's
those
the
little
generation
mini
after
games
Jonas's.
that people stuff into their VR world.
Right.
Mhm.
That'll be part of our home too.
Yes.
Like we're in the home where they just give us the headsets and let us go to town.
Oh god.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
You also say that like it's a thing that's happening in the future. That's happening now.
Are they giving
Well,
senior?
we're not in the home
Like
yet.
10,
Miller. That's
10
kind of
years
part
ago,
of the-
they were giving old people Wii's. Nowadays, they're giving them Oculuses.
Kind of glitch says if you take off Jones's glasses, his eyes are beady little Millhouse eyes because old. You know, I'm tempted to make an alt for that with my avatar, but
Oh, you remove the glasses, and then you just got these little beady, like,
tiny speck
1930s
eyes,
Mickey
yeah.
Mouse eyes.
yeah. God.
I'm kind of curious.
I need to see that.
Okay, you did.
wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, right.
How did you do that thing with the other thing?
Okay, it puts out fire.
Wow, it's so cool that Jonas did the thing.
Wow, Christopher Walken. Sorry.
Is that
That-
Walken or is that Schwarzenegger?
I
was
don't
gonna
know.
say that kind of
Schwarzenegger
crossed
doing a
over.
Walken.
That'd be like, wow, Christopher Walken, what are you doing here? I don't know.
Did you steal my identity?
Yeah, this is still my identity. Yeah,
I didn't realize Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't allowed to know Christopher Walken.
Yeah, no, it's one
No,
of those
they can
things.
never meet, or else
Yeah.
the event will happen.
Can't
You know
imagine
what?
that
And all
happening.
versions.
Vishnu's other shoe will drop and the Kali Yuga will start. Finally.
Jonas,
What?
what did I tell you about the Kali Yuga?
Dude, this isn't the Kali Yuga. This is just the bonus level. This is like the bonus level of the last era.
I also love the way.
California.
I was about to say, I love the way that you're saying it. You're like, yeah, it's the Kali Yuga, bro.
Alright, stop. How dare you?
Dude.
How dare... Oh.
Way
Oh.
too many hit points.
It's not just any Yuga, dude. It's the Kali Yuga.
I hate you. Can't believe... I can't believe... You know, Stoker, you know I'm biologically incapable of talking any other way.
It's true.
California has morphologically altered him.
Yeah, it's Marvin time.
It's Morbin time.
Any
Oh
more about
no!
over
Please
everyone?
no.
Goblin time.
Anyone who wants me to morb all over them, line up.
You heard
How
him,
did-
chat.
How did you make that horny?
Jonas, I
It's
can make good
Stoker.
morning. I can make good
Stoker!
morning
Come
horny.
on!
Okay, make
You
good morning
lived
horny.
with him.
Make
You should
good
know.
make it good morning.
They were roommates.
We were roommates.
Yeah.
Were you aware of that, Jonas?
No, I just thought you were around a lot all the time. You know?
Just this guy who
I thought
lives
you
in
just
my
hung
house
out at my
sometimes.
house all the time. I didn't even know I had a second floor and that you lived there.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Or dead.
I prefer the former.
How do you know? Have you tried the ladder? Oh,
He's
wait,
got you there.
You specifically.
No, I've not tried the latter, but, my religion disallows it.
Is your religion burbism?
Yes.
The latter?
We,
No, I'm more of a step stool guy.
Do you worship like the Great Owl from Nim? Because
No, it's the whatever they were in Guardians of Ghoul.
Guardians of
Weren't they just owls?
Yeah, but they had like a religion thing, didn't they?
did they?
I don't know.
Sounds
I have
about
no
right.
idea.
Probably.
I never watched that. I'm the worst because I knew someone who worked on it. And
I
should've
watched
been-
it and I don't remember a fucking thing from it.
Would you say that you did or did not give a hoot about it?
I don't get it.
One more time! Eh,
Eh.
eh.
Eh. Jonas noises.
At the
No, I think Stucker is probably much more into the religion of like Silver Ring, where they worship actual Satan.
As opposed
Yeah.
to just like food substitute Satan, where they just
Yes.
instead of actual Satan, they
They worship the real Satan, not the sucralose Satan.
Not diet Satan.
Can't
Yes.
afford real Satan. Store-bought is fine.
God, there's a friend of mine who has a Telegram sticker that's like, if you can't summon the flames directly from hell, store-bought is fine. And I've used that sticker probably more than I ought to.
nice.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Good times.
Hello, Rai.
Raru.
Hello, Ryru.
Raru.
Rairu is here with the crew. What do we do with Rairu?
Typically, we
Pet
talk
the
about
Ryru.
kangies.
You ever notice how actual kangaroos are like dangerously jacked, but cartoon kangaroos always have that pear-shaped thing going on? Like, has there ever been a cartoon kangaroo that was just ripped?
Yeah, it's because
I mean, I've got several.
That's true.
It's
Shot
because
all kinds of-
it's because real kangaroos are cartoon kangaroos are twinks and real kangaroos are twunks.
Oh, that's fair.
I see. Taking notes.
Circle of life.
It's all explained here in this chart.
Walking. I've got a fever.
Look at this graph.
And the only thing that can fix it is more tuba. And Schwarzenegger says, "It's not a tuba." There, round wrap. I did it.
Okay, we gotta up Jonas's meds again.
No bingo. I don't like
He's
bingo.
imagining that people are talking to him through something he calls chat. Like,
God,
it's so upsetting.
God. I look at like I look.
Is the
Jonas-
chat in the room with us right now?
Yeah, sort of. They're in my ear.
Doctor scribbles furiously on his notepad.
You know, I think about some of like the retro worlds we've seen, like the '80s mall and stuff like that. It's like that's if they do VR stuff for my generation, that's where they're gonna stick us. They're gonna be like, look, it's the mall you grew up in, right?
Jonas, you're learning how to do 3D modeling. You do it.
And you can't leave either.
Look,
You can make literally the exact mall you grew up in.
oh, don't tell me.
That's
I didn't
true.
grow up in a mall.
Yes, you did.
Okay,
shit.
the exact
That's
mall
where-
you grew up with.
a wall.
That's where your mother and I found you. We've told you the story before.
See, now I'm thinking about it. Thanks.
Jonas,
Nice.
did you see the Furcadia
Malls are
world?
easy. Malls are straight lines.
Sorry, did you say the Furcadia Mall?
World.
A world.
VR.
There's a world that like replicates being in Furcadia. It's
That's
kind of
cool.
wild.
I was never super big on Furcadia, but it's cool that people.
You were never super big into it.
Neat seeing our characters, our avatars, in that sort of like pixelated type of view.
Yeah, I can dig
It
it.
was neat, yes.
No, I tried Furcadia at one point, and I think it just wasn't there yet. Like, I also tried Second Life at one point, and I was just like, okay, this is cool, but...
Is that what you said?
Sorry, you want to repeat that?
Yeah, people weren't ready for the Jonas noises.
Are they now?
Yes! And even if they're not, it's happening. Ray, did you pet me in the chat when you're in the call with me? You're in the call with me. You can just say the words "pet Jonas" and I will respond. Go on, try it.
I'm petting you right now.
Is this?
You can't
This
see
is
my
my
hand
hand
because I'm not
gently on your
petting you on
head.
the head.
Presses down. Presses down more. Presses
No.
down harder. Presses down harder. Lift my hand and now enjoy the view of my Jonas pancake.
See, now, do we do the tuning thing where I'm just like a flattened out disc, or
Yes.
do we... Okay, good.
Is it just
Because-
like grotesque and bloody?
Yeah, I was like, do we do
No,
the
no, no, no,
horrifying
no.
realistic...
This is the Looney Tunes thing. Specifically, we put him in one of those like pressure crusher, like stim videos.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, don't you know the one? Haven't you seen those before?
The pressure crusher stim videos. Where you
Is-
watch them put weird things in the pressure machine.
Oh my god, it's like, will it blend? Is this a similar...
Yeah,
kind
it's
of-
I
kind of
guess.
that sort of thing.
Basically, yeah.
So usually it's like you fill a crock with shaving cream and then put 10,000 pounds of pressure on it and watch it like pour it out and do weird things.
Miller
I
has
wanna-
some very interesting. Yeah.
Interests.
Let me see if...
I
Dude.
don't watch them. I just see them cross my.
I just
YouTube
see them
feeds
on my
occasionally.
screen when I go and search and click on them.
I don't watch them. They just show up in my recommended after I watch them.
It's YouTube Shorts. I don't choose what's there. Things just happen.
I'm
Is
watching...
that how that works?
I'm watching-
Videos are involuntarily inflicted upon me.
I'm watching one video where they're crushing an iPhone, and this is distressing. I don't like this. This bothers me.
Oh, you
What?
know what? I fucking actually love that. Can we get one where we crush an iPad as revenge for the iPad ad that was like them crushing a bunch of art supplies into an iPad?
Oh my god, I hate it.
Can we do that? Can we do
Remember
that as
that-
like a revenge tactic?
Do you remember that, God, I think it was a Pokemon commercial where they had a whole bunch of Pokemon that got, like, trash compacted into a Game Boy?
Oh god, yes, I remember that.
one.
It was
Okay,
like
there-
for Fire Red or something.
I think the reason it bugs me is because this stuff costs money, you know? And
And you could have fed people with that stuff.
But
You
I
could
don't
have.
know.
They could have
you
eaten
spend
those
money
art
on cute
supplies.
furry art when there are children in Africa who are
Look, no,
I don't know, they have
they
10
don't have
toes
iPads.
on each
Yeah.
foot or something.
The 10, what?
They could have eaten those art supplies, and you're
No,
just
look.
wasting them.
Just give them to me, okay? Give me everything they want. Everything they want to put in the hydraulic press. Just give it to me. I'll give them my contact information. They can just give me all the thing.
They
You'll
can
give
just
them
do
your
that. They can just
contacts.
reach out to you.
Reach out and touch me.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, no!
Funny, it's usually Jonas doing that.
Bird noises.
Bird noises.
So you get the head, and I'll get.
Yeah, I get the head and you get the booty. This is what we agreed on.
Oh my God, Ashley! Since your character's a plush, you should have like some sort of like shuffling, like rubbing against fabric noise, like something like that. Ashley noises.
I don't think
Do
Ashley
you want to rub up
is
against me?
default
Well,
a plush. Are you?
Apparently.
Well, I meant like in VR, like when somebody pets you.
I
you
am.
just-
I do spend a lot of my time as a plush in VR. It's true.
I don't really think I've ever seen your. I mean,
I haven't found an otter avatar I particularly like. Is the thing.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the otters.
It's cute. It's not quite the right shape.
That's fair.
Yeah.
The otters are like, I'm savvy. You know what I mean? I mean,
No,
I'm not
I
the only one. I'm not the only one who's felt that vibe, right? I mean, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jonas.
Yeah.
Really, I get that more from the Rex Seal.
That's fair.
So what's going on in this game that we are ostensibly trying to watch and play through?
Is there a
Exactly the same
Is
thing
that what
that's
we're
been
doing?
happening. Going into the castle.
It's Zelda and more Zelda. Starring Zelda.
Zelda was from her castle. There is no god here.
There really isn't.
No God where?
No, who what?
In a castle.
In his castle. Well, I almost got into like a Tarzan yell there for a minute.
All right.
Yeah, that's
that one.
about as far
Thank
as
you,
I
Jonas.
expected. That's about as far as I expected you to take that gag.
You ever heard that one, like, I guess it was like late 90s, early 2000s electronic song about Tarzan? Like right around the same time as Aqua's Barbie Girl came out. My name is Tarzan. I am Jungle Man. You remember that one? No?
I thought you were gonna start talking about Phil Collins'
Actually,
Son
yes.
of Man kind of thing.
No. That one I actually like, but no. Hold on, let me find
Well,
it.
yeah, fucking everyone likes that one. Phil Collins put way too much effort into that soundtrack.
You'll be in
I like
my
the,
heart.
I like that.
You'll be in my heart.
Someone made a tweet that was like Tarzan's last thoughts as he plummets to the jungle floor.
Oh yeah, I
They
miss
were quote-
Vine.
Quote someone who just said, I miss Vine.
Yeah, I think about that a lot.
Nice.
I
So-
love the genre of joke where someone says something and then someone takes it and gives it a completely different context, like that one.
Nice.
Just,
That's
I
good.
miss Vine. Tarzan's last thoughts as he plummets to the jungle floor. Like that kind of shit is my jam. One of my jams. I have many jams.
It's very much like the
Some bacon jam.
Have you
Yeah.
ever seen the subtractive poetry? Where you take a piece of poetry and you take a Sharpie and you cross out certain parts to make
Yes.
new lines?
Yes, I have seen that. Some of those can be pretty funny too.
Mm-hmm. I love that somebody.
God, what was my favorite one?
My favorite one is somebody did it with some like part of a Warhammer 40k book, and they made it about that bastard witch, and they turned the entire passage to be about Margaret Thatcher.
Nah. That bastard witch is a wonderful turn of phrase.
Oh no, it's Ganon!
Ganon?
Castle!
I wonder what Ganny's up to.
Ganon and his castle?
No.
Oh no, it's playing the Ganon music.
Not the Ganon music.
If you're trying
This is
to
not
quit...
Ganon, it's Dwarf.
Dwarf.
No, this isn't Dwarf. Dwarf is, actually... Okay, hang on. There's an image
We've
chart.
already discovered this. Dwarf is Nigel Thornberry.
What?
Basically, yeah. I ever tell y'all that, yeah, I did. Okay.
You probably did, honestly.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, hey, Stoker, have you seen the movie?
No. But I've read book.
Book's a good one.
Have you seen movie that's based on book but isn't as good as book?
Didn't like it.
What about movie that's based on book and ended up being better than book?
I'm still on the fence.
Okay.
I'm waiting for sequel.
That's fair.
Here's a question. How often has that happened? What do people think were... Could be a movie from a book, could be a book from a movie, could be any other adaptation. When has the adaptation been better than the original?
There are a few examples I can think of, I think.
It's hard to say because a movie is fundamentally experientially different from a book. You very rarely. Go ahead.
Are we including like anime and manga in that?
Sure, why not?
I
mean-
guess, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why not. It fits the same criteria, so.
Yeah.
I'd say JoJo.
Is JoJo based on the book?
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
you're
the
talking
anime
about the
versus
manga.
The manga.
The manga.
Okay.
Okay.
Now
I
I'm getting it.
We all paused because we were like, wait, is he doing a bit? I don't know if he's
Yeah,
doing a
it's
bit.
it's an adaptation of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure by Dostoevsky.
Well, see, that's why I was confused, like, because, graphic novel versus a TV show, that's really similar. So I'm like, is that in the same realm, or are we talking entirely written work versus... I don't know.
Versus
Yeah,
Godzilla.
Shrek. You know
That's
what?
a fair
That's fair. Shrek was definitely better than the book.
Yes.
I mean,
The bad guys.
Oh yeah.
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 I
Yeah,
mean, to
that's
be fair,
fair.
the Shrek book literally has nothing to do with the movie besides the titular character.
Right.
Yeah,
The
titular.
book is not a laughing gag of like Hollywood drama and shit.
Hee hee. Tit.
The movie, the book lacks the extreme bitterness of ex-Disney man Katzenberg.
God. Boy, you could kind of feel it, can't you?
Yeah, like I mean that's the whole reason Shrek is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simon
Gotta
says I
make
was
me
also
play.
thinking about whether to say the Peter Jackson
Energy
movies,
tennis,
but
okay.
it's just like I don't know if you can really say they're better. It's just both of them are really good.
Yeah.
There are so many Tolkien fans who would take issue with anyone trying to claim those movies were better.
Rick, could you put down like a boulder and then a bed behind it?
Man, still.
Rick, can you create a boulder that's so heavy even you can't lift it?
What about movies that have been adapted into
man.
books? Does that ever happen?
Yeah, there's novelizations of movies that happens.
Not
Yeah.
stupendously frequent, but it does happen.
There's one I
Yeah,
remember
it used to
seeing
be
somebody
more
said-
frequent.
There was a line in it that was really good. I think it was the novelization of one of the Star Wars movies, like 2 or 3,
See,
like
the
Clone
best-
Wars or the whatever the third movie was called.
The best thing for me is when the book is adapted from an early version of the screenplay.
And there's changes.
Well,
Oh,
like
so many changes.
in some cases, it gets really weird. Like if you can find it anywhere, read the original novelization of Back to the Future. It's
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that.
yeah, just stuff like that. It was weird because like that one was done. You know, well, you just I won't spoil it. Y'all can read it. But then that one was very different from the first movie, and then like the second and the novelization of the second and third one was just a direct adaptation. And it sucked. I was hoping like it would be weird and quirky and like veering off into different territory. You know, like the first one.
Excuse me. You know, I read as a kid. I read the novelization of Batman and Robin before I saw the movie, and it very much colored what I expected the movie to be, and the movie was not what the novelization painted it as. The novelization made a lot more sense. Okay, if we're talking about movies that became musicals, that became musical versions of the movies, we have to talk about the king of that subgenre, which is Little Shop of Horrors. Because that began life as an extremely low-budget 1960s horror movie that ended up in the public domain, and so it just showed up on TV over and over and over again.
God.
And then someone saw it and was like, "Oh, I want to make I want to make that into a Broadway-style musical," and they did. And the Broadway-style musical got popular, and so Frank Oz of the Muppets was like, "I want to make that into a movie," and he did. And that's where that came from.
Nice.
Interesting.
Mirror says, when they make comics out of an animated movie using stills from the movie that are not intended to be still framed. Yeah. I have one of those, a quote-unquote comic of Zootopia I got for free once.
Oh
Does it have,
yeah,
like,
that
weird
is the
smear
thing.
frames and stuff.
Oh god. Putting the smear frames in would really put that over the top, wouldn't it?
No, I hate
A
those.
little bit.
They're obviously not composed for a comic layout.
No.
I thought you were going to say
Yeah, there's-
Wicked. Okay, yeah, Audie Moore, Wicked is another example of that particular extremely specific subgenre.
Did we beat the game?
Yes. We went. The end.
Yay.
Rick, you're a winner!
Rick wins.
Fatality.
Rick is the video game boy. Turns out.
But it's only 9.
Well,
Best though when during the PS1 and PS2 era, they would make tie-in games of movies. Several of those slapped.
I mean,
A few
the
of them.
ultimate adaptation there is Street Fighter the movie, the video game.
yeah, Street Fighter the movie, the video game. I almost forgot about that. Boy,
I'm sure
that
most
is
people would like to have.
that is an Ouroboros and a half.
That's like a snake eating its own tail on someone else's tail, too.
Which is funny because you'd think the game would at least be good because
No,
it's based on a
fucking awful.
game. Even if the graphics were you'd think the game would still be good.
I think it's like trying to make like a photocopy of a photocopy. It just, no matter how good the original was, it just, you know.
It turns into a mass of bees.
The Lego
Yeah.
movie, the video game.
Oh, God. I really like the.
Uh-oh.
How would that even
What's
bad?
this?
We have the like Lego Star Wars games to go off of to like a fucking successful.
This looks
style
like
for
a Kirby
that.
final boss.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh.
it's Link. He's come to save the day.
With a stick.
No, He's
Now
going-
he and Crystal.
I mean,
Oh no, not again.
Well, now it's Zelda's turn to save the princess.
What if Zelda were a girl?
What if Link were a boy?
What if Metroid could crawl?
What if God was one of us?
Just a slob like one of us?
Yeah. And had no job like one.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Sorry, did I make it too real?
Yes.
Can't believe that song came out 45 years ago.
I can't believe that song came out in ancient Mesopotamia.
I can't believe the 90s never actually happened.
It's true.
I can't believe I don't actually exist.
Bye.
He doesn't exist. He can't respond to you.
Hey, did you see somebody over there?
No?
Me neither.
What are you doing?
Now I am wondering
Ray?
what's the most convoluted chain
What
of
Bribery
adaptations
said.
out there. Like a work gets adapted into another medium and that gets readapted and so forth.
Well,
Kitty.
Sure.
you see, there's this little thing called Dracula. Uh-oh, is Stoker about to go into story mode?
Set the counter back to 0.
So, in the year of our Lord, 1897, Bram Stoker published
I'm already done with the
his
story.
Bram Stoker published his novel Dracula. It
Did he, though?
was he did. I
You
have
you have proof of that.
yeah, it's right here. Just reach into my pocket and feel around for it.
All right.
Giggity.
Ooh, carousel.
But
list. Jonas, you should yeah.
What? What should
You
I?
should
What?
Yeah.
What?
What
do you want me
know
to-
what he's insinuating.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Think I should
Uh-huh.
take a ride on the wild side?
I'm confused.
Me too.
And
I'm still figuring out how carousel works. Don't think about it. Oh no, you're thinking about it. Uh-oh, it's hot.
anyway, so Bram Stoker released Dracula.
Oh, you
Zelda's
didn't
bed
put, okay,
echo.
never
Level
mind.
3 bed.
Level 3 bed. And, you know, it did alright for him. Like, it wasn't an overnight sensation. And he didn't exactly die rich. But, after his death, it was literally the only thing he had ever written that was making his widow any money. And, she was approached by a dude named Hamilton Dean. That's his name. I had to think about that for a moment. Who's like, he was an actor and a play guy, a theater guy, and he's like, I want to make this into a stage play. And they negotiated it, and he wrote a stage play version of Dracula that became kind of a success story in London. It did very well for itself. And yes, he was a thespian. And as opposed to Adrian Hildegard, who are a different kind of lesbian. But
Going to say, I thought you needed tits for that, but
Also, not to be confused with the
Not
Linux,
really.
flavor known as Debian.
no, not really.
But Hamilton Dean's play was a big hit, and she started thinking about like you know, how these moving pictures were starting to become a thing. But she had a little bit of an issue on her hands because some crazy Germans had already done an adaptation of Dracula without consulting with her. Which was, of course, Nosferatu. Also, before Hamilton Dean's stage version of Dracula, Bram Stoker had tried to adapt it into a play himself, so there was already one script for it before Hamilton Dean stepped into the picture. And Hamilton Dean's version was super stripped down. He turned it into, like, kind of like a drawing room melodrama and changed a whole bunch of shit. And,
As you do.
yeah, as you do. And at one point, Florence Stoker decided she was tired of splitting profits with him and decided to commission another version that she would have 100% control over. So at this point, there are 3 different Dracula play scripts in existence. You with me so far?
I stopped listening a while ago, but please continue.
Thank you. So then the play was so successful they decided to bring it over to America and produce it on Broadway. And but the script was deemed absolutely terrible, which was only because it was. I've read it. It sucks a lot.
I'm curious how it sucks, but keep going.
Oh god. Quincy Morris is present in this as a woman who is an even more broad Texan stereotype than the original novel's version, and the only thing she does is exclaim things, lament about how, oh, if only she weren't a woman, she could help with this, and occasionally drop casual racial slurs.
Like you do.
Yeah. Also, in the English version, Van Helsing sees that Dracula has no reflection in the mirror and still isn't completely sure if this is the vampire they're looking for. Maybe he's just a regular guy who has no reflection.
You know, like you don't sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, Stoker,
Yes.
what if instead of Van Helsing, he was being hunted by Van Halen?
What if, Jonas? What if? Tell me, Jonas. What if that?
No, I mean you're the expert.
Fund it.
You know, I'm asking you.
Are
Like,
you suggesting that instead of a stake, they use an axe?
Oh my god! Tell me you wouldn't watch that video. Tell me that the video wouldn't be
What,
just
Rock
fucking
and Roll
awesome.
Vampires? That definitely sounds like a movie that was made in like
No.
98.
God, it should have been.
Straight to VHS.
I mean, isn't Rock and Roll Vampires actually just the plot of the Vampire Lestat?
Effectively. Yeah, I think that one.
Anyway,
You know, Anne Rice
Anyway,
is meant to
so-
be shonen. Sorry, go on.
yes, in her laboratory in New Orleans, but fuck was I even? Oh yes, Dracula.
Almost made him forget.
Tried.
Damn it.
It's
Try.
that's listen, 9 times out of 10 it's Dracula, so it's very hard to make me forget.
That's understandable, I suppose.
So when it was brought over to New York,
But what about when it's Ken Penders? Is it still Dracula?
I mean, he also can be killed with a
I
stake
want
through
to
his
see
heart.
that happen one time where we get you distracted, and then you get back to be like, oh, right, it was vampires, but then you pick up in the middle of a different vampire story.
Yeah, well, good luck with that happening. So anyway, Barnabas Collins was introduced about halfway through the 3rd season. Anyway,
Yeah.
So when it was brought over to New York, basically the New York people approached another writer whose name was John Balderston, and they're like, "The script sucks, fix it." And he wrote his own version. So now we have the 4th Dracula play script in existence, plus an unauthorized movie adaptation. And
Everything was fine until the
Everything
Fire
was
Nation
fine.
attacked.
exactly.
Those kooky Germans made a movie.
So
Those kooky
The
Germans.
4 Draculas lived in harmony.
until the Van Halen attack. Anyway.
Yeah.
God damn it. So, They at this point, Universal Studios started negotiating with Florence Balcom Stoker to see about getting the movie rights, the actual official ones.
Right.
And they only wanted the rights to the novel, but they eventually concluded the negotiations and found when she sent them all the materials for the adaptation, they discovered to their immense shock and confusion that they got the novel, 3 different play scripts. No, excuse me, 4 different play scripts. And this was on top of the fact that they had already been doing their own research into Nosferatu to see what they could steal from it for their version.
Nice.
So, basically, yeah, when Universal negotiated and bought the rights for a novel, they ended up with the rights for a novel, 4 plays, and an unauthorized earlier movie that they could crib from. Well, I say the rights. It didn't have rights. Nosferatu has no rights. Yeah, Nosferatu has no rights. Yeah.
They would have the right to challenge anybody who released or distributed Nosferatu.
Yeah, they it was supposed to be destroyed. Like when the court got this case on the docket, copyright law for film was so new it hadn't really been established very well yet. And they didn't know what to do in terms of damages, so they just said, fine, destroy every copy of it. Obviously, they missed a few. But it had a problem for her for a while, where it would be playing in theaters this unauthorized version of her one and only moneymaker. And sometimes it would just be playing flat out under the name of Dracula. Just to add insult to injury. And yeah, so that was a whole thing. That's the shortened version, actually. The longer version of the story is more convoluted than that. But and also the process of casting the movie version of Dracula was kind of a nightmare, because they originally wanted it to be Lon Chaney, you know, the original Lon Chaney, Man of a Thousand Faces, and they thought he's gonna do some crazy makeup, but Lon Chaney went and died, which was super not cash money of him.
Rude.
If that was the short version, how many streams do we need to hear the long version?
Stoker, this is a thing you need to set up on your own stream for.
Oh, I will.
You just
I'm
need to
not
be like,
watching
alright,
Disney.
time for me to talk about a thing hour. I'm not even gonna play video games, we're just gonna stare at a picture of a Dracula while I talk at you.
So, Lon Chaney died. And they're like, well, fuck, who's gonna be our Dracula now? And, like, they tried all these different people, and nothing was sticking. Every time they thought they had gotten their Dracula nailed down, something happened that prevented that person from playing the part. Like, at one point, they had German actor Konrad Veidt.
The man who laughs.
Yes, that's the one. And, what's his nuts from, Casablanca, German dickhole guy. What's his name? Nazi Von gets shot in the end.
Are you... God damn it.
Yes, Jonas.
You made me silly. You must be thinking of I can't remember the name now. God damn it.
Conrad Veidt.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. No, it was Konrad Veidt who played the character.
Well, yeah, but
Heinrich
wait, was it?
Strasser.
Hold on. Conrad
There it
Veidt
is.
was.
Yes, he was in Casablanca. Did you not know that?
I didn't know he was that guy. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he looked so much different at that point in his life.
Okay. Well.
That was when, so like he left the U.S. When Talking Pictures started, because he was like, "Oh, I have a thick German accent. That means my American Hollywood career is over." And then he went back to Germany, and he left Germany after Hitler showed up because he's like, "Well, there's a Hitler now, so I guess I gotta go back to the U.S."
There's a Hitler now.
There is, yeah. Whenever a Hitler shows up, it's never a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, believe me, we know.
I'm not afraid to make controversial statements like that. I don't like Hitlers.
I'm glad.
But yeah, so he was considered for Dracula, and they considered this guy and that guy and the other guy, and Stinky Pete over there, he was up for contention.
The one from Toy Story?
Yes, that's the one.
The very same.
He would have been like, "Well, I'm Dracula." I don't know why I made him sound like Mr. Haney, but
No, that's Quincy Adams.
the long and the short of it
Quincy
was
Morris.
they ran out of yeah, it is Quincy Morris. I was just gonna let you get away with it, but you called yourself out.
They ran out of Dracula.
I don't know my Draculas.
No,
That's
you're
okay, Miller.
Draculas.
That's okay, Miller. I know enough about Draculas for the entire stream.
Miller, there's only one Dracula that matters, and that's Gary Oldman's Dracula, because he shows up in every movie and he goes, "Ugh,
Jonas,
yes, yes, darling."
I'm going to have to hurt you.
Gary Oldman.
That's right.
They were.
Yeah.
They were
Dracula never played Count Dracula.
Stoker question. What's the worst version of Dracula as a character?
As a character,
Billy and Mandy.
he's doing what he's supposed to do for Billy and Mandy.
That's true.
He's like, Dracula don't suck, scrape your neck.
Wow.
Yeah, the Billy and Mandy version of Dracula is voiced by Phil Lamar, and he's basically more like Blackula than Dracula.
Yeah, he's like straight out of a blaxploitation film.
And it's very, very silly, as everything on the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy is. But I would not call that the worst version. Of the one, probably of the ones I've seen, my least favorite of Dracula as a character is this really crappy BBC version from the early 2000s.
Oh, what about the? Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
What about the more recent BBC one that was made by Stephen Moffat? I called it BBC Killer. That's not what it's called. It's what I called it.
Yeah, I know.
BBC
I
Remember that? Remember that one,
Yeah,
Stoker?
I
And it got very Moffat-y, which made
What did you
no
call
sense.
it, Jonas?
BBC Killer.
BBC Cula.
Yeah, I mostly did that to annoy Stoker.
That sounds like a porn name.
Got Bacula, never played Count Dracula.
So he was like, I was making a very important point about Dracula that you've never heard before, and then you interrupted me. How dare you?
Anyway, eventually they gave up and cast the man who originated the part on Broadway, which is Bela Lugosi. And you know what? Bela Lugosi is dead, and I blame Jonas.
Oh, they can't prove anything.
I remember seeing this one tweet that was like, or maybe it was a Tumblr post, some post on the internet that was like, man, I really wish Bela Lugosi didn't die before he could have heard the song Bela Lugosi's Dead, but I do understand why it had to happen in that order. Everybody
Nah, I was. I was joking with Stoker that because it's written by Stephen Moffat, BBC Killer would have been like it was like a crime procedural, like Dracula, who killed this poor victim? And Dracula's like, oh yeah, it was me. So, case closed. You know?
It is impossible to tell who killed this person. They were bled out of the neck, out of these 2 puncture holes.
wait,
Who
there
could
he
have
is.
done it?
Okay.
As he's dabbing at his
Yeah.
mouth very daintily with a napkin.
Mhm.
Or as he calls them, a drapkin.
See,
All right, get out.
when you
Don't.
first started saying that sentence, as he's dabbing, and I'm just imagining just dabbing over the.
Just fucking
That's
hitting
right.
the dab.
No. He has to call it drabbing because Dracula.
Count the Dabula.
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
man.
blah. Anyway,
This up.
Simon asks, what is the best Dracula adaptation and why is it Count Duckula, Stoker?
Th-
My personal favorite is a 1970s BBC TV miniseries where,
Starring Stephen Moffat.
yeah. Count Dracula was played by French actor and sometimes Bond villain Louis Jourdan. And of every version that I have seen to date, that is the most faithful to the text of the novel. It still makes departures from it. It also probably has my favorite version of Van Helsing. I just really like the guy who's playing Van Helsing in that movie. And probably the most sympathetic version of Renfield of any version that I've seen. So that one is my personal fave.
Sympathetic Renfield's like, I don't really like getting bugs. I don't really like you. Why are you making me do all this stuff, man? Come on, don't do that.
Yeah, that's what he's like.
Yeah, exactly what it's like.
And then Dracula's like, bleh.
Blah,
Bleh.
blah.
Like bleh, my dudes.
How do you bleh, fellow kids?
Sympathetic Renfield's like, I
God,
don't really like
there's one we're never gonna get is Steve Buscemi as Dracula.
Oh, God.
She's got Steve Buscemi eyes. Picturing that.
What was it? There was like a Family Guy skit that was like, I know two people look really tired, starring Gary Sinise and Susan Sarandon.
Okay, I googled it and apparently a version of Dracula exists in Twilight. How about that one?
Do you mean
The
as
character
a
Dracula is
character?
in the- Yeah, I guess.
Wait,
I mean,
so what? Dracula exists as a vampire in Twilight?
I think that's what Frederick is implying.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not exactly what you'd call a Twilightologist.
Dear Princess Celeste.
God, has it really been 26 years since My Little
I
Pony?
made a new friend called Vlad Tepesh. He's so
Airplanes.
nice.
The night sky.
No, you shut up
Night
with that.
sky.
You fucking shut up with that.
That's
God
Dracula's
damn.
Castlevania Dracula. Yeah, that's his name.
Really, that's how we got that moving right along.
It's
I
true.
know.
Move right along.
People are like,
That's
you're
how
a
it goes.
boober and you were a brony once. Have you seen this image? It's like, yes, I fucking see that image. Thank you.
Miller,
Stoker, did I ever show you the pictures I took at Vlad Tapas's castle? No. Is that where they serve? Is that where they serve delicious Mexican food?
that would be an amazing name for a Spanish restaurant. Vlad
Wouldn't
Tapas.
it? My gosh.
You just like they just like whatever you order, it's served skewered. Like
I'm literally
Curse.
thumping my fist on the desk right now. Jonas, everyone in the chat right now, I need investment money. I need investment money to make this happen.
Vlad Tapas, Mexican restaurant with food on skewers.
Oh.
Yes, exactly. Do not let my dreams die like Vlad Tapas did on the skewer.
Nice.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Warbird. I'm sorry, Warbird, but you did the typo in the group chat thing, which meant we were all obligated.
Okay, but it came out to be a great idea, so.
But no, I don't think you've shown me the pictures. And that is a tragedy and a half. What about Dimitri from Darkstalkers? What about Dimitri from Archie Sonic Comics?
What about him?
Which one was that?
He's one of the creations of Ken Penders. He's an echidna.
Oh.
Wow, how about that? How'd we get
Yeah,
back
that's-
to that?
I saw people were trying to bait me into talking about Ken Penders earlier and deliberately ignored it, so I just thought I'd throw them a little bone.
Why? Why give them that?
Because it amuses me.
Cat's got enough bones as it is.
I mean, it's my understanding that they're all actually filled with bones, you know?
Let's find out!
I mean, I'm not calling anyone out for being, you know, calciumist, but, you know, it's, you know.
What about Dimitri from Anastasia? I prefer Bartok. Warbird says that the castle of Vlad the Impaler has a mini torture museum.
That's fun.
They're
Vlad,
mini
you
torture
act
chambers.
like Stoker has only got the one topic, Ken Penders. No, he has three, Ken, Sonic, and Dracula.
Ken and Sonic
falls
kind
under
of go
Sonic.
together.
What
Okay, you know what? You know what? Just to prove that I don't have just those topics, how about we talk about the Phantom of the Opera?
Okay, let's do that.
He's inside your mind.
No. What if, like, when they did the tour of Vlad Tepes' actual castle, they had like a Nerf Iron Maiden, and like they could stuff you in it, and you're like,
Did on the torture tour, do they tell you about how the Iron Maiden is not a real thing and was
Miller,
always a
shh, let us
fictionalized-
believe.
What if they had like
No.
the torture rack, and they had like a fake guy made out of like stretchy taffy, and like you can turn it, and you know you can
That sounds fantastic.
Feel what it's like to kill someone.
like right as you're turning it, there's like a recorded voice going ah, like the Wilhelm scream or something. Then you can like take bits of him, and you know.
Delicious.
I have good
Take
ideas.
bits of him.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
souvenir.
Like you do.
Well, you don't wanna.
Man, this is the weirdest communion ever.
Sacrilegious.
Actually, are any of y'all familiar with that Tumblr communion story?
Yes, I do remember that one.
How about the
Oh,
rest
yeah.
of you?
I'd be
I
fine
remember.
hearing
It
it again, even if I had.
I feel like
It
you've
took me a
told this
second to
one.
remember, but yes, I do remember. And go ahead and go through it again because it is funny.
Alright.
Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna say this first and foremost. I don't believe this story is true.
Oh, almost certainly
Oh,
not.
probably
Tell it
not.
anyway.
At the very least, it's extremely exaggerated.
So I'm just gonna read it, okay?
Yeah.
We've got 30 minutes left of stream. I should be able to get through it in less time than that.
I mean, it's about 20 minutes to read, isn't it?
More or less, probably less. This is entitled The 1969 Easter Mass Incident. Content warnings: religion, food, symbolic cannibalism, symbolic gore, penis mention, blasphemy, so much blasphemy, weapons, war mention, mind the warnings, and your health always comes first. It's a hilarious story, I promise. As always, all the names have been changed to protect people's identities. This is a long one, so press J now if you want to skip it. You can press J if
Stoker's
you
rant
want to.
stream, with Rick as special guest playing a game in the background.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's like when I'm here, isn't it? But you can press J all you like in the chat. I'm just going to ignore it and keep reading. When my dad was a young man and still a practicing Catholic, he participated in a small church communion that nearly got him and 6 other people excommunicated. Father Patrick ran a small church outside of California Polytechnical and tended to be rather more liberal in his interpretations of scripture than most of the church was, which made him something of a hit with the local students and liberally inclined populace. Pat went to all manner of civil demonstrations, condemned the shit out of the Vietnam War and the politics that led to it, and so on. In January of 1969, a series of incidents led to him to start exploring non-traditional means of holding Mass as a means of reaching out to his community and exploring his own faith, which ultimately culminated in the 1969 Easter Mass incident. For those of you who weren't raised Catholic, communion is this ritual where you become one with Jesus by eating a really horrible bland wafer cookie and taking a shot of wine, called hosts, which then literally become the flesh and blood of Jesus in your mouth, allowing him to become one with you. It's a big McFucking deal, and you have the opportunity to take communion at every Mass. All this had to be explained to me secondhand because after this and Dad's 51 days in the army, Dad decided he wouldn't inflict religion on any children he might have in the future. "Hey Dad," 6-year-old me asked the first time he told me this story after my practicing friends were talking about getting wine at church. "Isn't that cannibalism?" "We're getting to that," he waved. The first incident in January, when, due to a serious cock-up by the church, all the hosts Father Pat received were moldering and spoiled and probably would have killed someone if he'd actually fed anyone them. But it was the first Mass of the year, when a peak number of people came in after vowing to go to church more for New Year's. He couldn't not have communion. "I'll bake," offered Maria, the parish secretary and probably the best baker in the county. "So we have hosts. Jesus will understand." Father Patrick, not one to pass up the chance at Maria's cooking, immediately agreed. A host is supposed to be composed solely of unleavened wheat flour and water, which is why they taste terrible. It's a theological point of some importance relating to Exodus or something, but Maria had an important theological counterpoint. Jesus is both divine and loves all his children, ergo Jesus would neither be a nasty bland cracker, nor would want his children to suffer as such, and so instead she made Mexican wedding cookies. They were a spectacular hit. Many praises were heaped upon Father Patrick for the much better wafers, and that they'd be sure to show up next week as long as Maria kept making them. Father Patrick figured that, hey, anything that gets people in the doors is good, and really, if it was turning into Jesus once inside the parishioner, did it really matter what the wafers were made of? So, he continued to let Maria bake the hosts, and encouraged her to try out new flavors like nutmeg and cinnamon.
Oh my god.
This went on swimmingly for a few weeks, until the bishop showed up for a surprise visit the same week Maria decided to experiment with rainbow sprinkles. Dad remembers hearing the bishop through the windows roaring, "The holy body of Christ does not contain rainbow sprinkles!" The matter would clear up to the archbishop, who decided that while Pat was probably right to not feed spoiled hosts to his parish, he should attend some remedial classes to remember what communion was all about, so that if it happened again, he'd come up with a more suitable substitute. Father Patrick returned in late March, full of spite and some fascinating new ideas.
Oh, it's a cashmere.
"Is this where the cannibalism happens?" 6-year-old me asked, eager to get to the good parts. At his remedial classes, the teacher had stressed the importance of transubstantiation, aka the bit where the wafer
They're
and
a
wine...
vegetarian version of communion, though.
No. The importance of transubstantiation, aka the bit where the wafer and wine actually literally become the flesh of Jesus Christ, and we expect you to swallow. Also on the syllabus was understanding the importance of Christ's suffering and sacrifice. "So I was thinking about Easter service," said Father Patrick one afternoon while Dad was doing his computer science homework at the church because his dorm was a barely standing fire hazard and the library was where you went to have sex. Well, we do reenactments for Christmas. Why not an Easter? Why not reenact the crucifixion of Christ right here? Make it real for everyone. Trauma's great for bonding a community together. Who's playing Jesus? Asked Maria, always one for a good laugh. Well, that's the thing. A host. It doesn't look much like flesh, right? Doesn't much of anything, really. Not great for reinforcing one's belief. What if instead we, and I mean you, Maria, I can't cook to save my life, made a man-sized loaf of bread, maybe in the shape of a T, and we have some of the boys dress up as Romans and whip the bread, and we pour the wine on so it's bleeding, and then we make a big wooden cross and actually nail the bread to it with, I don't know, railroad spikes, more wine all over, and we raise the cross all while telling the story of the crucifixion. He paused to take a drink, Maria slowly crumpling onto the floor in horrified laughter, and Dad now thoroughly distracted from his homework. Then we lower the cross and invite everyone who wants to take communion up to tear a hunk of Jesus off. Just descend into his corpse like vultures. I think that'd be a really good bonding experience for the church, he nodded thoughtfully. The hard part, I suppose, will be finding enough Romans. I want to be Longinus, bellowed my father, barreling into the room. And so the plan was hatched. Dad hit up every other guy in the church and eventually rounded up 4 more Romans, 3 of them from the education department of Cal Poly, and 1 guy from chemistry who just liked to watch things burn. This being a play naturally meant that there was a rehearsal and test Bread Jesus. Maria had decided that if they were going to start being extra literal, she needed to make the most lifelike Bread Jesus possible, and made a distressingly buff and human proportioned Jesus by advanced bread braiding, complete with plaited hair, quail's egg and raisin eyes, bready muscle groups, and an 8-pack, because why not make the Lord completely shredded? She also made the important theological decision that since Jesus loves everyone and was happy to die in spite of all his suffering, he should be smiling, and had a toothy corn kernel smile. He was wonderful and terrifying all at once.
Wow.
Maria? Asked Father Patrick after a few minutes of delighted and horrified cooing over Jesus' toothy grin and abdominals. Why is he wearing a tea towel? Well, he's the Son of God. A man with all that entails, she said, pointedly staring at Father Patrick while everyone stared at the suspiciously lumpy tea towel. And he might have burnt slightly. Everyone nodded and agreed.
In the Middle Ages, it would have spawned a dozen new heresies.
Everyone nodded and agreed that the tea towel was the best course of action. The rehearsal went splendidly, and everyone agreed that this is the most delicious Jesus they had ever had. Easter Sunday arrives, and the church is packed. From the more lapsed Catholics showing up for a high holiday, parents visiting for spring break, and a whole horde of newcomers who had gotten wind that something was up and they ought to come. Dad is a lanky as hell 21-year-old composed mostly of technical jargon and acne, but he is stoked to be playing Longinus, the Roman that speared Jesus on the cross, because he gets to do the best technical effect in the whole parade. Since he came at the end and missed a good portion of the sermon, but did hear... Wait, hang on. Oh, yes. Since he came in at the end and missed a good portion of the sermon, but did hear the ooh from the crowd as the massive cross was dragged in by the other Romans, followed by horrified gasps and screams and a discernible what the fuck as they brought in Bread Jesus 2.0, whipping him enthusiastically and hammering him into the cross, the sound of wine splashing onto the floor loud in the terrified silence of the parishioners. Finally, Father Patrick gets to the part about Longinus, and Dad comes sprinting down the aisle as hard as he can, because in order for Bread Jesus to be seen by anyone, his middle had to be about 10 feet off the ground, so Dad had to run, shrieking Latin curses, down the length of the church with a big honking spear and take a flying leap at Jesus in order to spear him in the gut. Please take a moment to imagine you are some normal, God-fearing Catholic who has decided to visit little Bobby or maybe Patricia at college, and you're all going to church together like a nice family, and this fucking madman has decided to go all Silence of the Lambs on Mass. And now there's some sort of underfed, translucently pale man in ill-fitting Roman armor and cape, flying at a horrifyingly gluttonous effigy of your Lord and Savior. Oh, excuse me, that's glutinous. A horrifyingly glutinous effigy of your Lord and Savior with an actual fucking spear, screaming like a madman. Don't you feel yourself drawing closer to God already? Defensively, perhaps, like an octopus trying to ooze itself into a crevice against the horrors of the ocean. However, two things happen that were not planned on. One, Dad misses. In his defense, Bread Jesus is close to, but not quite the size of a man, more like the size of a doughy teenager, and his middle is a small target 10 feet up in the air, and Dad is a computer science major, not an athletics scholar. He misses it by about 8 inches, and instead very solidly stabs Bread Jesus right through the groin, leaving a big hole in Maria's tea towel, and the spear jutting out at a decidedly attentive angle as Bread Jesus's bread dick drops to the floor with a splat. Nobody notices this, however, because 2. In rehearsal, Dad had managed to get the spear right in Jesus' navel, but neither Father Patrick nor the other Romans could get the wine up there to make his middle appropriately bloodied. Maria came up with the genius solution that since wine is made of grapes and jam is made of grapes, she could make a jelly-filled Jesus for Dad to stab.
Oh, God.
There was a normal-sized test loaf, and when Dad stabbed it on the table, it had a nicely gooey dribbling effect. However, this time the loaf was torso-sized, still hot from the oven and upright, so when Dad speared the very end of the loaf, all the steam-pressured jam had collected at the bottom, and a spray of lukewarm Smuckers exploded out from Bread Jesus, turning the first 3 pews into a splash zone of symbolic entrails.
Oh,
There was a hot, sticky minute of complete silence in the church after that. Then, Father Patrick indicated it was time for the cross to be lowered, and continued on with the normal preparations of the host. He himself, also covered in hot Smuckers, as though nothing particularly ordinary were occurring, quietly kicked the bread dick under the altar. At the end of it all, Father Patrick invited everyone up with the last oration. Thou, O God, hast kindly allowed us to have a part in this holy sacrifice. For this we give thee thanks. Accept it now to thy glory and be ever mindful of our weakness. Amen. And everyone came up, shuffling like terrified zombies, pinching off tiny bits at first, but then the madness took them, and they began tearing apart Bread Jesus by the handful, weeping as they partook, scattered prayers and begging for forgiveness. The whole congregation was kneeling about the altar, tearful and united in their guilt and their need for God. Is church always like that? 6-year-old me asked, absolutely stoked. I'd convert on the spot if I got a show like that. No, it's normally bland wafers and lots of chanting in Latin. Well, that's boring as hell, I remember muttering, and Dad snorting the coffee he was drinking out of his nose. As people filed silently out of the church to a gloriously sunny California afternoon, faces wan and smeared with wine and jam, Father Patrick turned to Maria and asked, "You don't think that was too much, do you?" No, said Maria, with a sarcastic deadpan so intense it was hard to tell from sincerity. It was the exact same tone she used when the Archbishop and 6 other high clergy showed up, clutching a letter someone had written, livid and almost foaming at the mouth, demanding to know if such blasphemy had transpired. No, that's crazy, she said, staring down the Archbishop like he was an idiot. Such imaginations people have, said Father Patrick, much less convincingly. And you didn't spear an effigy of our Lord and Savior? The Archbishop demanded of my father. Do I look like I can jump that high? Dad asked, having in the interim been drafted for 51 days. They nearly died of pneumonia from it, and therefore no longer afraid of the church, the law, or God. Somewhat relieved that he'd only received the extremely detailed ramblings of a doddering parishioner, the Archbishop sat down and complimented Maria on her most excellent Mexican wedding cookies. May he please have another plate for his nerves? Perhaps the ones with sprinkles? Dad went on to help build the internet. Father Patrick converted to Buddhism, and Maria became a nun. For those of you wondering, Jesus was made of challah.
I mean, challah is pretty good. Could eat that.
It is.
You mean challah?
Is it challah? Is that how it's pronounced?
It's
Yeah,
challah,
it's
yeah.
It's challah.
Okay. Well,
But it is delicious, so.
I'm sorry that I got it wrong, but I ain't no challah back girl.
All right.
Um,
I'm gonna apologize to Jonas right now. How dare you insult?
Super buttered.
Yes.
How dare?
I mean, I do have some ointment if you
How do you intend to apply it?
Do you need a massage there, Jonas?
Do you have
I
a
mean-
special tool for applying ointment to the backside?
Oh.
All right, Ashley, I'm gonna need you to.
No.
I need you to.
Stoker, I sent you
Actually,
a
let's-
related, much shorter, story.
Preemptively shove
Related?
Miller in the box so that we can't be.
Wait! Don't shove me in the box. I don't go in there. Don't put me in there.
Remember
I
to
think you go in there.
preheat the box before you put the Miller in.
Oh.
No! God! Do not cook me alive. I am no frog.
Thanksgiving Miller.
MMMM.
MMMM. Oh my god. People are terrible.
Yes, they are.
But yes, there you go, chat. We have now made up for not doing our spooky story readings for Halloween. Yeah, you got this. Now you
Yeah,
got
this is your-
Jesus.
This is your horror story for the year. Feel grateful.
Yeah. We should do spooky Thanksgiving stories where they're like, and the turkey was actually a dead guy, and the
Man, don't you hate it when you go to the store for a turkey and they give you a dead guy by mistake?
and the cranberry sauce was blood, and the stuffing was actually just regular stuffing, but everything else was horrifying.
The green bean casserole was alright, though.
Yeah.
Battery acid spaghetti. I still want to try that.
What the hell?
No.
No, you
Literally every single time somebody does that, they're just like, I'm gonna try this, don't try this. I'm gonna try this, don't try this. I'm gonna try this, do not try this.
What
Yeah,
is
but
it?
Miller, if I don't try it, how am I gonna know why? How am I gonna know why I shouldn't try it?
No, but what?
Okay, so battery
Oh,
acid
God.
spaghetti. Let me pull this up so
It's
I
like
can get
Mountain
this.
Dew, right?
No, it's
Monster
Energy
and
drink.
sour
Monster.
gummy worms.
Yeah.
Sounds so horrible.
This is
this
horrible.
is from-
Literally, that's the whole thing. Is that everyone keeps saying this is horrible, do not try it, and then somebody replies, "I'm gonna try it anyway," and then they go, "Oh, do not try this. It's terrible." And the next
Yeah.
person's like, "I'm gonna try it anyway," and it just keeps going.
Yeah, this was started by Tumblr user Clit Fisto.
Yes, that happened.
Yeah,
Why
it's
not?
peeling those sour rainbow gummy strips into long, thin strings and putting them into cheap energy drink to create something I'm calling battery acid spaghetti. We'll update once I've finished it. And then the update, don't do this. And then we have a response to this post. Don't tell me what to do. And then the same person responds, don't do this. Then we have someone with a photo of it. I really hope it's not too bad because I actually love both components. Then a further follow-up, it forms a dry skin at the top made of the sour pellets. Not a great start. Then the next follow-up, tastes really good actually. I also feel like I am about to explode. And then their final follow-up, do not do this.
I wonder if it produces.
There's
a
like a
This
whole
is the kind of
line
thing where
of this.
people try it and you find out later there's like a coin flip, 50-50 chance that you just have to get your stomach pumped.
Looking through this, it's all of, I think I will try, all full of, I think I'll try this. Followed up by the same person being like, don't do this.
Don't do this.
This guy's lines is hilarious. I pray my family stays healthy. I pray the world finds peace, and I pray that I get 1,000 rupees, maybe 2,000 if you can swing it.
I like how this person is like, oh, that is a fascinating smell. And then follows it up with, don't do this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I am gonna do it.
Oh,
Have fun.
God.
If we don't ever see you again, we'll at least know what happened.
Yeah, if you don't ever see me again, you'll learn another way to kill vampires.
Tucker, are you really gonna do it?
Someday.
Oh my god.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like killing a man. You've got to do it at least once in your life.
Yeah, you gotta do it just to watch him die.
How's everybody doing
Call of Duty shit, man. Anyway, do you think I should start a podcast?
What would it be
That's what
about?
Twitch is nowadays. Is you podcast while a video game happens.
Well, I mean,
That's the thing, though. I like a podcast, a YouTube channel. I'd love to do one, but I can't decide what it would be about.
Does it have
Literally
to be
anything.
about something?
well,
Yeah, true.
Can it not just
usually
be the stream of Stoker's consciousness.
I've been told that it's better when a YouTube channel is about something, but I mean, I don't know.
I guess.
Like that's apparently how you know you get discovered or something. But I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't say.
See, I kind of want to, like, if I ever do anything of mine, I kind of want to defy that just because I don't really want to be discovered. I just want to have a public repository.
Sorry,
Yeah,
go on.
Exactly, yeah.
An hour
Like-
of silence broken occasionally by Jonas noises.
See, the problem is, like, part of me wants to do, like, an actual professional channel where I give, like, valid, useful advice for people wanting to get into art. Like some of the stuff that I was never taught by my art teachers. But this other part of me just wants to completely, utterly shitpost and be like, Lady Shampoo. You know,
Did I ever tell
both.
you? Did I ever tell you about that class that I took in college on like stagecraft? And we had this textbook that was showing like these different things that you could like different stuff related to like carpentry and stagecraft and knots and joints and gluing things and stuff. But every now and then it would just drop some completely random silly bullshit thing in there, but would not say that it was random silly bullshit. Like, they're showing different examples of joints you can glue together with wood, and, like, they're like, this is the this joint, this is the that joint, and, like, the fourth one in there is like, this is the Escher joint, and it's just completely impossible.
God, that's like some look around you shit.
Yeah, it absolutely was like that, and the book would do this without warning. You'd go, like, dozens of pages without nonsense, and then there would be nonsense inserted without explanation.
Nice.
And that's kind of also how the teacher taught the class. Like, I mean, he didn't write the book, but like, God, he was such a wacky guy. His final had all kinds of weird jokes in it, like one of those things where it's like match the answer to the letter and of the clue, and like it spelled out an entire sentence or something. God, I love that guy. I also took a drama criticism class with him, which we did in a prop room of the theater, and he spent almost every class that he taught, he was just lying on this Cleopatra style divan that was just in the prop room, and that was how he taught the class. God, that guy ruled.
I'm thinking of bullshit that I could do if I leaned into the more shit posty side of the channel. Just lots of gibberish.
Lady Shampoo!
Have 2 channels.
Yeah, maybe.
As a treat.
And then just never direct anyone from one to the other one.
Nope.
Lest they discover it and learn the truth.
I mean, so you can either have a channel that focuses on a certain thing, Stoker, or you can just make certain shows and playlists in that channel that focus on a thing. You're okay, for 10 episodes of my podcast, I'm going to talk about Dracula stuff. So I'll make a playlist series, give it a title that's the True Dracula Tales or something.
Yeah, you know what?
I could it's just Stoker's Consciousness.
Yeah. I could so easily do at least 10 episodes on Dracula without even trying. I wouldn't even break a sweat.
Yeah, and you can decide whether you want to do it I'm going to do these 10 episodes as one big thing altogether, or it's every week I'm going to do an episode of something. Maybe I'll do this show or that show or that show, but I'll do something every week, and you can just subscribe to my Patreon, and then you'll be paying for each week's episode. Hooray.
Yes. Give me your delicious Patreon subscriptions.
Monetization.
Feed me your blood offerings.
I don't think I will.
Feed me your...
What do I get?
Good night, Melody.
Hey, Mel.
Night, Mel.
Oh, and for the record, I am not streaming tonight. So, raid someone else.
Who the hell are we gonna raid then?
I don't know.
We have to
someone else.
think of a person? God damn.
Who do we have? Jackie's doing Tunic.
Oh.
I mean, we could also raid into Desert Bus.
We could. Let me see. What's the? Let me get the desert. Oh yeah, they're going.
Of course they're going. It's Desert Bus.
Right.
Plush is going, it looks like.
Yeah, Sasha's going. I don't know.
Have Penn and Teller ever commented on the Desert Bus charity thing?
Oh, they're there every year.
Oh, good.
I saw Teller's interview, and he gave away. They did an auction, a giveaway auction for 2 nights at the Rio, 2 Penn and Teller shows, and some behind the scenes access.
Oh, damn. That would have ruled.
You ever notice how weird it is when Teller talks? He opens up his mouth and,
he opens up his mouth and the serpent of Apophis comes out. And it devours the sun, and the sky goes completely black.
Vishnu's other shoe drops.
True, that does happen every time he talks.
Glad you picked that one up and ran with it. Yours was better than mine.
You all right there, Ray? Well, listen, if you need something to soothe your throat, I've got some battery acid spaghetti here.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Please stop trying to kill Ray.
So painful in the stomach.
It would be fun to do. No, never mind.
No.
I could do it as a donation goal someday.
Oh dear God.
There you go.
I was gonna say it might be fun to do it at a con, but that's probably a terrible, terrible, terrible idea.
If
Only
by
if you want to
terrible you
actually-
mean wonderful. Oh, and
It's
you
all-
know what? You know what? It could be preceded by a big old chomping mouthful of durian.
It's only a terrible idea if you ever want to actually do anything at the con you do that at.
Or, you know, with your life in general.
Who does stuff at cons?
Depends on who stuff is.
Eyebrow waggle, eyebrow waggle.
E. 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 All right.
Fairy.
Do we decide on a raid target?
Not decisively.
We put forth some options. That's about it.
You know, Desert Bus is raising money for a good charity. I believe in these guys. They look like dorks. I'm watching them on the camera. They're dancing. They're big dorks. We should raid it to them just for one of the nights because
As I was
honestly,
saying in chat, they're doing one of their bits that they've decided to do this year, which is they're doing a Beyblade tournament called the Night Watch Beyblade Ripoff.
nice. So yeah, check out the Desert Bus, and if you're feeling so inclined, perhaps drop a few bucks in the kitty.
The kitty.
The kitty.
The kitty goes meow meow meow.
Kitty.
That's where the kitty goes.
Like, don't feel obligated, but if you don't do it, then you're a bad person.
Wonder where my kitty is.
You can also get things for your donations. They usually give out prizes in 3 ways. Either a giveaway donation, where for like an hour or so, they'll say a certain amount of money donated will get you an entry to win a thing. They do live auctions where it's like a normal auction, where they auction off some large item. Or they do silent auctions, which is ones that are happening on the website in the back end.
That's
Heller is
swell.
great at silent auctions.
No, he was talking about what's the show they did where it was like Confuse Me or something, where it was they invited
Fool Me. It's Penn and Teller's
Me.
Fool Me. Fucking
Yeah.
love that show. I could watch clips of that for hours.
He was
Confuse
talking.
me.
He was talking about one guy who he had a Mexican name. And it's
Hang
just
on.
like,
Are they talking about, like, the world's greatest card magician?
yes, he was like, that guy is one of the greatest magicians in the world.
Hang on, I know who you're talking about. He's from Spain. Let me look up his name. Danny da Ortiz? Ortez?
Cortez, that sounds right.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that guy is the best card magician I have ever seen.
Mm.
Like Penn was like Teller may have called him one of the best. Penn was like, it said in his opinion, he's like, in my opinion, he's the best card magician who has ever lived, ever.
Nice.
Like, his
He's
routine...
also just a great showman.
Oh, yeah,
that's
he's
a
so
lot of what
great.
makes it.
Yeah, they got him on there with Penn, Teller, Allison when she was hosting the show, and Donny Osmond was there too for some reason. And
He just showed
did
up
this
from time to time
routine.
back then. So
Yeah, he does that. He did this routine that, like, the way Penn described it, he's like, Donny Osmond, he's been in show business his whole life. He has the professional show business persona. And he's like, so he gets there at first, and he's just like, he's showbiz impressed. He's pretend impressed. He's professional impressed. And he's like, and then you get to see my favorite thing that happens with magic, and that's when the persona just drops completely, and he's like, what?
okay, we're leaving now.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
Alright.
Jess.
Bye bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye,
Good night,
guys!
everybody.
Everybody.